Hello and welcome back to a patch breakdown by London Esports. Here, we try and break down the latest patches as fast as possible. So without further ado, here is patch 11.3 rundown in 5 minutes. Let's start off with the champions that have been changed. For the buffs, Ezreal's AD ratio on his Q has gone up by 10%. Jinx has received a plethora of changes to her kit, including a base HP stat boost. Her Q rocket form has increased range and attack speed, and for her E, reduction on her mana cost and arm time makes her a force to be reckoned with. Karma now has increased mana regeneration and has reduced mana cost on her Q. Mordekaiser has a cooldown reduction on his Death's Grasp. That's it. Riven also only has a cooldown on Valor. Shyvana got increased AD on her Q, but also increased AP on both her Q and W. Singed has an increase of 10% AP ratio on his Poison Trail. Sylas's Chain Lash is now a flat 55 mana cost, and Kingslayer has increased damage. And Vlad has a flat 120 second cooldown on his ult. For nerfs, we've got Anivia, whose damage on her Q has been reduced and her ultimate cooldown has been increased. Cho'Gath's Vorpal spikes are now weaker. Elise's Neurotoxin has less damage, and Skittering Frenzy is slower. Ivan's HP per level has been reduced by 10, and he got another nerf to his shield on his E. Olaf's HP and his attack speed on his passive has been decreased. Pantheon's Q cooldown has been increased, as well as the damage from his Q now affects monsters. Rammus's E cooldown is just 12 seconds. Seraphine's damage from her passive has been decreased, as well as the shielding from her W being reduced. Talia's surfing is now slower, and the damage after her first stone is reduced on monsters. And finally, Urdir's Phoenix stance, the pulse damage has been reduced. For the adjustments, Gangplank's Cannon Barrage has a new interface for his Silver Serpents. As for Rel, she got a complete adjustment. Both her Crashdown and Mount Up of her W have increased damage, and for her E, the cooldown has been reduced, and for her R, the damage has been increased. Next up are the items. There is no runes for this week, but for this patch they focused on reducing the healing on certain items even more than last patch, one of them being the main focus of Gore Drinker, which has been on everyone's mind. I hate that item, but here are some of the items that have been buffed, nerfed and adjusted. Moving on to the skins, since it's been very close to the Chinese New Year, the new skins are related to that, with the Lunar Beast collection, which include Alistar, Annie, Aphelios, Darius, and Jarvan. Fiora also has a Lunar Beast skin, which also has a prestige version of it. On top of that, there is the Withered and Crystal Rose collections. Crystal Rose involves Zyra and Swain, and the Withered Rose collection involves Talon and Syndra. Here is footage of the Lunar Beast skins in-game. And here is footage of the Withered and Crystal Rose skins in-game. Lastly, we have quality of life improvements. For the League client, receiving game invites has now been improved. Bug fixes to champions such as Shyvana, Gangplank, Fizz and Viego. Visual and sound effects for the Dragon Soul. And quite a few bug fixes to a bunch of items such as Gore Drinker, Eclipse, Pyro Mandate, and so on. Whew! That about does it for this patch rundown. If you like this sort of content, check out some of the other stuff we've done on the London Esports channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. I've been the Morgstar. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe on all our social medias, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch even. That'll be in the description below. But other than that, I'll see you later.